Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about the advanced filter. Advanced filter is the one of the most important concept in the Excel, which is going to help you to filter the data from your original data set. If you want to implement the advanced filter, so you can go into this data tab and here you can see this advanced filter option. Or you can also use the shortcut key as Alt DFA, which is basically the shortcut key for this advanced filter. In this case, I want to filter the consumer segment data and I want to paste that data somewhere else. So in advanced filter, you have to write your criteria in any of the cell. So in this case, consumer is my criteria, so I can mention in any of the cell. And now your criteria is existing in the column, you also need to mention that column. So my criteria, which is basically the consumer, which is existing in the segment column. So this segment column also I need to mention along with my criteria. So I have mentioned the column name as a segment and criteria is consumer. So on the basis of my given condition or the criteria, I want to filter the data from my original data set. So from this data set, I want to filter the data for the consumer and I want to paste in this O column. So first of all, you have to select this entire data and then you have to go into this data tab and you can click on this advanced option. In this case, the first thing is list range. In this list range, you have to select your entire data set. Then in criteria range, you have to select your criteria along with the header. And now here you are able to see the two actions. The first one is filter the list in place and second is copy to another location. So we are going to see the first option, filter the list in place. So if you have selected the filter the list in place, it means in my original data, only for my conditions, the record will be appear and rest of the records are going to hide. So in this case, only the consumer records will be visible and rest of the records are going to get hide. So if I simply click on a OK, so you can see only you are able to see the consumer records and rest of the records are hidden now. But if this consumer data, I want to paste it somewhere else. So you have to select the data and again, you have to go into this data tab, click on this advanced filter and same select this data into the list range and you have to select this criteria along with this header name. Now we are going to use the second option as copy to another location. Just select this copy to another location and you are able to see this copy to is appear now. So here you have to select the cell where you want to paste the consumer records data. So I have selected this O5 cell where my consumer records data are going to be pasted. So if I click on a OK, so here you can see the consumer records data has been filtered from my raw data set and pasted over here. You can give the multiple conditions as well. Here, in this case, if you want to filter the data for two or more than two criteria, so that you can also use. So in this case, let's take an example. For an example, If I have the segment as a consumer, and here I'm just gonna change the order priority over here. So for the few of the records for the consumer, I am changing this high as a order priority. Now my requirement is I want to filter the data for the consumer record where order priority is high. So here I can give the two conditions as well. So my first condition is already mentioned, and now I am going to mention the second condition along with this header name. So my second criteria is high, which is existing into this order priority column. Now you have to select this data, click on advanced, and now list range I have selected, and now in this criteria range, you have to select your both the criteria along with this header. Now you can go with this copy to another location and you can tell where you want to paste this data. So I have selected this O16 cell. Once I will click on a OK, so here you can see the data is pasted successfully where my segment is consumer and order priority is high. So on the basis of multiple conditions, you can filter your data as well. Now, I want to paste my filter data into the other sheet. So advanced filter has the golden rule. You have to press the Alt DFA or just click on this advanced in that sheet only where you want to show the output. Advanced filter always reflect the result into the active sheet. So it means if I need the output into this output tab, then I just need to come into this sheet first, then I need to click on this advanced. If I will be into this advanced filter tab, and while the time of pasting, if I will select this tab, so it will throw me an error. So now let me show you that what error will come, and after that we will follow the correct way. So for an example, if you have selected this data, you clicked on this advanced, and now in this criteria, I have selected this segment, which is consumer. Now I clicked on this copy to another location, and in copy to, I moved into this output tab, and now suppose on this A2 cell, I want to paste this data. Now, once I will just click on a OK, it is going to throw me an error that you can only copy filter data to the active sheet. So it means advanced filter always paste the data into the active sheet. It means you have to go into that sheet first in which you want to generate the output. So in this case, in this output tab, I need the final result. So first of all, I need to come into this output tab, and then I will click on this advanced. Now it is asking me to select the list range. I will go into this advanced filter tab and I will select my list range, which is nothing but my source data. Now it says criteria range. So I can select my criteria from this tab, which is basically the consumer data. And now I can go into this copy to another location, and any of the cell into this output tab I can select. Once I will click on a OK, so now you can see it has pasted the successfully records for the consumer dataset. So this is the golden rule of this advanced filter. Here, one more thing. For an example, if there is any duplicate records into your data set, then that will also be captured over here. It is not going to remove your duplicate records while the time of filter the data from your source data set. For an example, Now, in this case, if I have any duplicate records, and when I will use this advanced filter option, so it is going to paste my whole data. It is not going to remove any duplicate records. Now suppose if this is your final data, and now here I am going to make a duplicate records. So if you observe the row number 5 and row number 8, which is completely your duplicate record. Now, from here, my requirement is I want to filter the data for this consumer segment in this case. So I'm just gonna change a few segments over here. For an example, like this home office. This is the home office also. And now we have this data set. Using this data set, I want to filter the data for consumer. So what you will do? First of all, you will mention your criteria in any of the cell along with this your header. And now if I select this data set, click on advanced, then list range is selected, copy to another location. In this criteria range, I have selected my criteria. In this copy to, I'm just gonna paste my data over here. So in this case, it is going to paste all the records for the consumer. It will not look for the duplicate records. So if you observe carefully here, for this one, here in this case, you can see all things were matching, but this was not this segment as a consumer. So that's why the duplicate record was not coming. It filtered out only for the consumer. So now let me make also this for the consumer. And now I'm just going to again execute this case. So now I have selected this data. And if you observe carefully before I execute this one, row number 5 and row number 8, which is completely duplicate record. So here you can see customer name is matching, segment is matching, market, and so on and so forth. Now I have selected this data, then advanced, then in the list range, your source data is selected. In copy to, criteria range we have selected. And now I'm just gonna paste my data in M4 cell. Now if I click on a OK, so if you observe here, your duplicate records are coming over here, which I have highlighted on the screen. But now, while the time of pasting the data, you want to paste the data only for the unique records. It means in this case, this line item, which is basically the duplicate, should be pasted once. So I have selected this data, go into advanced, then in the action, I have selected copy to another location, and same, your list range is selected and your criteria range is selected as well. And now in copy to, I just want to paste the data over here. Now here is one option, which is unique records only. If you select this unique records only and click on a OK, so here you can see this line item is pasted only once for this record. So this is the way that how you can handle the duplicate records into this advanced filter. Thank you so much for watching this session. If you have any query or any doubt, please post your query into the comment box. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.